Super quick as we start the video, I do now have a Fortnite support a creator code. This goes to help support the channel a lot, so if you want to check that out, I'm going to have it on the screen here for a few seconds, but we're going to hop right into it. A while back, I made a video about where Batman has been since Batman Arkham Knight, what happened to him at the end of the game, and of course our theories about it. If you want to see that video, it's a little long, it's about 40 minutes long, but it's a very detailed breakdown on all the evidence around the idea of the ghost, which is essentially the idea that Batman, after faking his death in the bombing of Wayne Manor, assumed the identity of Batman. That might sound a little silly, but essentially he went and he weaponized the fear idea of criminals and he turned himself into the ghost, or the ghost of Batman, essentially. So he's still Batman, but the theory goes that he's using Scarecrow's fear toxin or a diluted form of it that would probably not affect or hurt victims of it for nearly as long. We've seen evidence of that being done before in other continuities. For example, the Dark Knight Returns movie does a good job of showing it on a rooftop. Long story short, if you want to see more about that video is a detailed breakdown on all the proof around it. This is a follow-up to that video with new information that we have from the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League official Justice League trailer. Worth noting, I did not play the closed alpha of this game that WB Games allowed people to play, and Rocksteady allowed people to play. Why didn't I? Well, if I was releasing the closed alpha, I would have removed cutscenes, any story content, etc. I would have been doing, stress testing with the servers, gameplay testing, stuff like that. From what I have been told, which is not going to go into this video, there is story content, some, that was in that closed alpha. I didn't want to see it, and also, I didn't want to be under an NDA saying I couldn't really talk about this game. So I'm not. I didn't play that, and if Rocksteady or WB decides to strike my video, this is a transformative video and that will actually be in violation of copyright law. I want to point that out right now because I signed nothing. We're going to be taking a look at two very particular moments in the trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the official Justice League trailer, No More Heroes, that pretty much prove what I was saying before in my theory about Batman actually becoming the ghost, and the figure, the nightmare Batman that we see at the end of Arkham Knight being Bruce Wayne still. During the trailer, at about 1 minute and 37 seconds, if you look very closely, and I have to click around to do this myself, you can see, and I've slowed it down, a figure moving in what appears to be Scarecrow-like manner with a bat on his chest. And you could say, well, maybe this is just a, hallucination just in general. Maybe there's nothing to this. But it's worth noting that the Batman from Arkham is confirmed to be in this game. He's shown in this trailer speaking, and he's shown with, unfortunately, the late Kevin Conroy, genuinely rest in peace, actual real-life hero, his voice. So we know that the Batman shown in this game is Bruce Wayne. We also do have confirmation in the comics when main continuity Batman from the DC Comics was visiting other continuities. When he actually came into contact with Arkham Batman, he was told quite a few things that we cover in that other long breakdown video, but the TLDR of it is this. He talked to him, Batman basically said from Arkham that he had to go into hiding, he lost his identity, he couldn't be Bruce Wayne really anymore, he had to cut off everyone and just kind of live on his own. We don't know how long after Batman Arkham Knight that comic scene takes place. Personally, I consider that canon, because that was Batman from the main timeline meeting the Arkham Batman. But even if you don't, and you don't want to look at comic books, we now have an actual Bat figure appearing in this trailer a few times. One, the normal Kevin Conroy Arkham Batman. One, this weird nightmare Scarecrow looking version, which we don't get a very good look at, but we do finally get a better look near the end of the trailer when there is a breakdown of the Justice League at about 1 minute and 45. They show John Stewart briefly, and then who do they show? A looming figure, Batman. And this is not a coincidence. This is another clip of this same nightmare-looking Batman, and this Batman very, very closely resembles the Batman that we see at the end of Batman Arkham Knight. It also loosely resembles the version we see in Origins of Joker's kind of perspective and interpretation of Batman at that time. But really what we're looking at here is the Rocksteady games, because obviously Origins is canon. I don't want to hear any BS about how it's not. Rocksteady proved it like 10 times in their own game by referencing it. But what's important is where Batman was at the end of that timeline. where we saw him last, the events that happened at the very end, and how he appeared as this Nightmare Batman. He also appeared that way in concept art. Compare that to this image, this very slow image that I've made a still of and everything. This is Nightmare Batman. Also worth noting again that even if Kevin Conroy's voice for some reason was not enough confirmation that this Batman is the Nightmare Batman, and that these two are one and the same, and that this is Bruce Wayne in this game, it's also worth noting, as well as the comic confirmation, we also have the fact that Harley Quinn in one of the original trailers for this game, when Batman shows up in that trailer and doesn't speak at that time, basically says,
"Hey, Bruce! Still using shadows to scare the crap out of us criminals, huh?" Don't sweat it. Batman doesn't kill people.
And I find this very interesting because this pretty much is a light confirmation of what we've been talking about. This almost solidifies entirely the plot points that we went over for Arkham Knight. Now, personally, I don't know what to think about this. It's up to you what you think. I really liked the open-ended aspect of Arkham Knight. I really liked that we all debated on it, that we talked about it, that we had different theories, that playing in a random Catwoman DLC that wasn't even that good would lead to thug dialogue that would point to a ghost of Batman running around, and people saying, oh, well, maybe that's BS, maybe that's just the criminals being morons, because they're morons in these games. Other people saying, no, maybe there's some validity to it. You know, what's the deal with this concept art? What's the deal with the ending? What's the deal with this picture? Now, we pretty much have solid confirmation of where Batman's been. Some people are really going to like that. Some people are going to say, thank God, we know where he's been. Cool. I like the details. I like the story where it's going. And I think we can all just hope going forward that Rocksteady handles this story well, right? A lot of other people, no matter what, I think everybody can hope they handle it well, even if you don't want to play this game. Other people are going to say, I really liked the vagueness. I liked the open-ended. It was Donnie Darko-ish. It was Blade Runner-ish. You know, it was this weird ending where it was like what you interpret out of it, what you get out of it. Yes, there's probably a set answer, but it was your interpretation and it led to discussion. And it was a really cool debate in the fandom about what happened with this character. Personally, I think it's cool. Like, I think this looks awesome in terms of what he looks like in this game, but I could see both arguments for that. There was certainly something to it being left vague. I think that really did lead to discussion, and sometimes too heated of discussion, but discussion nonetheless, and passion. And now there's also going to be passion for people behind seeing this version of the character one more time at least. Because unfortunately, again, Kevin Conroy passed away, and now there's a debate around should Roger Craig Smith maybe step into the role of Batman from Arkham? Should they never touch a Batman version that Kevin Conroy ever voiced again? I don't personally agree with that point, but I see why people make it. I don't know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. That's a little bit of a touchy subject, but I don't mean to make it one. It's just one that people are very passionate about. And honestly, for good reason. People love Kevin. He was an amazing Batman and an amazing man. But I think it's cool to kind of see this going forward, that what we said in the previous video, I believe, is pretty much confirmed now. Now, where he's been when he joined the Justice League, those are going to be details you would have to play Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League to find out, to actually hear about, and how well this fits into the overall narrative of the Batman Arkham universe, coming out years later, you know, and taking place years later. Again, something we'd have to wait and see. I do want to say that I am aware that there is an offline mode. So if you see people saying in the comments down below, Jay, you got mad about there not being an offline mode, why haven't you made a video about it? I just have not had time. If you want me to, I will. But I just want to tell you, I am aware of that. So if anybody's saying that, you can point them to this point in the video. I appreciate you very much. It's cool. I'm glad that they're adding an offline mode. They have clarified that that is going to be in a patch, in an update. Unfortunately, that means that physical copies of this game, again, and as someone who cares about physical copies, I care about this, that means that those copies are still going to require an internet connection to get the ability to play offline. Personally, I think that's backwards. I think that's kind of silly. It's better than nothing though, and I'm sure that even after these consoles die, somebody out there will preserve that patch and you'll be able to download it with a USB stick or something and you'll probably be fine. I just don't think you should really have to. That should probably be on the disc, but they are listening some at least to what fans want, which I think is a good thing. So I leave this in the hands of you. I want to know what you think about this. What do you think about Batman? What do you think about this reveal? Do you think that there's still a possibility that this is wrong? I'm interested to hear that. I, at this point, don't really, but I'm interested to hear if you have a different theory. Also, do you think that this gas effect, do you think that this is a diluted form of Scarecrow's fear toxin? I mean, his face looks a little Scarecrow-y. It looks very much similar orange effect, but maybe it is something else. I kind of see it the same way I saw it in Dark Knight Returns, where it was. Your call, let me know. Also, I did want to tell you some things are going to be changing a little bit on this channel going forward. I'm going to be trying to be a little more focused on a few fewer topics. Still going to do variety, but I feel like I'm not, swinging back around to some of the stuff I care about often enough because I'm trying to hit too many things. So I'm going to try and focus up a little. I'm going to try and make fun videos that I hope you enjoy. And there are some announcements of things to come a little closer to Christmas, probably next week, that I want to share with you. Just working on some stuff behind the scenes, working very hard. If you want to help support this channel, we have Patreon, channel memberships. On this channel, we have Degenerate Plays, where we played through Batman Arkham Origins. We were playing through Spider-Man 2 right now. We played through Miles Morales. Lots of superhero games and other stuff over there. And of course, more to come in the future. Also, we do have our own store, enchantedglamour.com, also degeneratej.com, where we sell a wide variety of things, including something I think you'd be interested in, comic book coasters. These are coasters, resin coasters, that are from repurposed comic books and other transformative materials. These were going in landfills, they were getting thrown out and stuff. So what we did was we acquired these from shops that were throwing them out, clearancing them out for basically nothing, and we're turning them into something that can live on in your home, something transformative and fun. You can put your drink on, you can have a fun time. I hope you'll check that out. Every purchase goes to support the channel, and it means the world to us. And it's my wife's dream to run that shop, so I'm just the helper over there. She's Santa, I'm the elf. So thanks very much. Have a fantastic day. And as always, everyone, stay shway.